Thank you for joining us for the Marketing First Framework Series #1, How to Position Your Firm to Stand Out. My name is Lee Reams. I am the founder and CEO of CountyWorks Pro. And Sarah Lepisova is our SEO manager. She helped put together this presentation. She is not joining us during it. I just wanted to recognize her for her excellent work here in prepping this. So today's agenda, we're going to go through an introduction. We're going to talk about adjusting your mindset, how to position your firm to stand out, why not referrals, understanding positioning, the levels of positioning, and positioning your firm. So guess what? We're talking about positioning today. A little bit about this webinar. It's approximately 30 minutes long. There's no CPE credit. This workshop is designed for US-based small tax and accounting practices. However, any other business or practice may benefit. So let's get into the introduction. So imagine for a moment that your firm only said yes to the clients you really enjoyed working with, and that those clients happen to be the highest paying clients, right? So this is a dream scenario, correct? And we see this often. We hear people complaining about the hours they're doing, a lot of low cost work. They don't think they're being fully compensated. And I think today's webinar is really going to shift your viewpoints on how to be successful and do the type of work that you truly enjoy. So when you're first starting out, anyone willing to pay you to help them is a good fit, right? So everyone has to pay their dues. I see this for firms that are just struggling, to get any clients. And, a lot of times we talk about reviews, and when people say, well, how do I get reviews if I don't have any clients to do it? And that's the whole point of willing to work with anyone's maybe doing some free work for some nonprofits just to get your name out there, get some recognition, start building your reputation. But too often as you grow, you add additional industries and services to the roster to appease new clients. And before you know it, you're doing everything for everyone. So I think this is important when we start talking about a referral-only firm. So in this workshop, we'll cover what's wrong with a referral-only firm, stress the importance of positioning your firm to find your dream clients, and how to position your firm. So let's start with adjusting your mindset. With more experience, you reach a turning point. You notice that you love working with some clients and only tolerate others. And I know this is close to home for many of you. You're more comfortable in a handful of industries, or even specialties, or kind of different tasks. And maybe you even have a single favorite. So you consider specializing, but you're afraid of alienating your current clients. And what if the referrals dry up once you niche down? So these are obviously things you need to consider when adjusting your mindset. So breaking free of the full service referral dependent trap isn't easy, but it's a complete game changer for your firm when executed correctly. And you're reading, I know there's a lot of people that are finally getting on the bandwagon, some of the trades, talking about value-added services, and they're starting to identify, hey, perhaps going from a tax prep to a tax planning monthly strategy might be right for, certain firms. So this is kind of, that others are starting to see it. And we have clients who are very specific in their niches that are killing it. They're doing really well. And then we have some generalists, I call them, that are having a harder time standing out. So there is some risk here, but with the right strategic plan, you can do more of the work you love with the clients you love, and more importantly, get paid more for it. So you can reach a point where referrals are a bonus, not a necessity. And think about referrals too, is they're not a planned, scalable opportunity, meaning referrals come and go whenever a client decides to refer them. So there might be a life event, maybe there's something economically that's happening, but that's when you start getting your referrals. What you're looking for is where your ideal clients are actively reaching out to you instead of vice versa. So you've established a digital footprint, you've positioned yourself and your brand that these people are actually going on Google or social sites and finding you and actually contacting you, which is versus the other way around, right? So whether you're turning away poor fit clients regularly and comfortably referring them directly to your competitors, right? So imagine spending 90% of your workday doing your favorite kind of work for your best clients. That's what we're talking about today. So imagine the depth of expertise you gain by focusing exclusively on a particular niche. And to me, this means you're spending less time doing the same thing, right? So you're going to be more knowledgeable than anyone else. There's the premium that people are willing to pay. You'll actually spend less time than you would if you were not a specialist. So the premium pricing, your clients would happily pay for that expertise. So think about that. So if you're like most people, once you get there, you only wish you'd done it sooner. We see this often with clients that have taken the plunge, and now there's no looking back. So if any of this sounds appealing to you, you're in the right place. So we'll help you identify your best opportunities and systematically redirect the ship towards them, one smart decision at a time. And what you'll notice as we roll out into 2022 and we roll out our new platform, we're very proud of how we have helped pros effectively go after specific niches. You'll see that we have many different vertical websites and landing pages specific to positioning statements and particular niches. And then those are kind of starting points that we help our clients either further differentiate themselves. So we're definitely in the right timing. So let's start this. This is a 5-part series. There's actually 4, and then we're going to do kind of a summary, but how to position your firm to stand out. So our goal with the Marketing First Framework is to get your practice growing like a business twice your size without relying on referrals. And I'll say that again, we're going to try to get your business to grow twice your size without relying on referrals. It's not that the referral model is dumb or wrong or anything. We get it. It's totally right for a lot of people. We're talking to people who want to scale, who want to get paid more and want to actually spend less time doing the work. So I'm not here to kind of go through the merits of referrals. We know that this industry is built on trust. Lots and lots of referrals come through. But I think the point we're trying to give you, the takeaway, is a lot of these referrals are not necessarily all in the same vertical. They could be all different things that you have to learn. And it's the amount of time spent dealing with that type of practice is not great, right? So most businesses start there and they coast along fine for months, even years, but then they start hitting kind of these roadblocks. So that's what we're going to talk about. So here are some of the problems that crop up in a referral-based firm. You have no control over referrals, which means you can't plan a marketing strategy or to anticipate your results. That was kind of what I was alluding to before. You're at the mercy of your clients, and it's usually just a handful doing the referring. I think you can see that in your own practice. So you have a certain amount of ambassadors. They love you. They're more apt to refer more business to you. But if they stop, you're no longer receiving clients, right? So that is not a system. That is just hoping, that I get more people from the current referral sources. So you're forced to compete on price. This is a race to the bottom, and you'll never feel comfortable raising your prices. And I think that's very true in today's market. You're seeing more commoditization of a lot of the industry. So understanding what we're talking about here is going to give you some price premiums. So you will struggle to transition your firm to a more premium advisory consulting work, since you'll be stuck doing the work referred to you, typically basic accounting and tax practices or tax services, right? So the type of work you're doing today, the people that are referring you say, hey, you're looking for this, I have someone for you. You're going to see a lot of the same. And if that's not making you happy, or you're spending a lot of time or dealing with clients you don't necessarily like doing the work, that's a problem, right? So you'll stay busy, but you'll rarely get opportunities to help clients at a deeper, more personally satisfying level. So over time, you may struggle with employee retention, and your job satisfaction might suffer as well. So I think you can relate to a lot of these points here. So maybe you're thinking, hey, we've built our entire firm on referrals and we're doing just fine. We're strong. I'm making a good living. We do great work. We have happy clients. We're getting good results. The word is spread. They're referring people. We can hardly keep up with all the business. How could this be wrong? Of course, doing great work and having loyal clients is an awesome start, but building an entire firm on referrals alone is troublesome. So maybe things are humming along now, but what happens if you go a month without a single referral? Where do those budgets and forecasts for growth go? 3 months, 6 months? What do you have some churn? Or what if your churn is higher than your referral intakes? So the other major problem referral driven is they have no control over the clients you work with, right? So this is what I was talking about. Often firms end up with a large portion of clients who are both high maintenance and low paying. Isn't that a great combination, right? So in fact, it's not uncommon for a firm 5 to 10 years into business to find that 30 to 50% of the client base make up less than 10% of total revenues. And go look at your own client base and see how it compares to that. So we're here to help you. There is a better way, and we're going to show you through this series what that better way is. So a way that ensures consistent new client traffic and allows you to do your best work for clients who truly appreciate that. And I think that's important. There's kind of that life balance side of things. Maybe it's a little more rewarding. You're delivering better financial outcomes for people that you actually really care about, right? So when you follow our Marketing First Framework, you'll get a comprehensive integrated approach to marketing that supports the specific needs of your firm. You'll learn how to control your firm's destiny and attract premium clients consistently and automatically. You'll gain clarity and confidence, and you'll get to see what your firm is really capable of. So let's get started. I think that's enough background, right? So understanding positioning, that was something we mentioned in the intro many times, but let's get into it. So positioning is the primary pillar of the entire framework, and it answers the question, who do we help? This is also the biggest area of risk and fear, I would say, that we see in practices trying to make this decision. So when establishing your ideal niche, your goal is to get as narrow as possible so that you can substantially differentiate your firm from your competitors while staying as broad as practical so you can still reach a meaningful audience. So meaning you don't want to have a niche that is so small that there's only 5 to 10, potential clients, so to speak. But you may be in a vertical that is, so you go to a niche, and let's say dentist is a niche, but perhaps you just deal with dental startups. That could be narrowing it down where you now can differentiate yourself from the broader category, but there's still enough volume of startups in there that you can get a nice amount of clients and client bases. So that's just an example here. So your positioning strategy will clearly identify which markets and audiences your firm is targeting, help everyone in the firm understand who your ideal clients are and why you're best equipped to serve them. I think this is important. You need buy-in of the brand positioning from everybody involved from the receptionist to your marketing material, all your emails, your social media presence, everything. You want to hit this positioning statement and make sure everyone knows the talking points. Think of it a little bit like a political campaign. You narrow it down so much and you just repeat. So turn your firm into a destination firm, meaning that your clients are willing to work with you remotely. I think this is really important. One of the most frustrating things for me as a marketing person and helping tax and accounting pros is, we'll hear people where, we deliver them these perfect clients, but they're 100 miles away. Well, in today's age with the pandemic specifically, you can anyone can work with anyone anywhere. I mean, it's not just US based anymore. It's anywhere on the globe. So, because you're such a perfect fit, these people are going to seek you out. You have knowledge to help them. They're not going to care as much if you're 2 miles away and I can drive to the office, right? So looking beyond local traffic allows you to attract much more ideal business opportunities, significantly escalating your earning potential. And also think of this as when you're trying to recruit extra talent. I've heard a lot of professionals lately talk about challenges in staffing. Setting up more of a remote option really will enable you to get talent all over the place. So kind of a little side note there. So positioning, we're going to do a little bit of metaphor here. Imagine you're going out for dinner, you're craving authentic ethnic cuisine, and you're ready to pay top dollar for it. Should you hit up the 4-star sushi bar, the ritzy French restaurant downtown, the high-end Brazilian steakhouse, on the corner? Or what about the Japanese, French, Brazilian fusion experience, right? So now I think you're understanding the idea of what a generalist looks like to the public. So while it's authenticity you're after, it definitely won't be the fusion place. You want the real deal, a restaurant that knows its niche inside and out, and then embodies the culture behind the food, right? That's what you're looking for. You're wanting someone who is going to deliver exactly what you're looking for, not kind of a watered down version. And I always do this, and I know some of you have been listening to some of my workshops. I also always talk about In-N-Out Burger out here in California, and I compare them to McDonald's or Taco Bell or any of these. In-N-Out's strategy is simplicity. It is doing very few things very well and doing it repeatedly. And they're known for that. And they'll have a line, people willing to wait a half hour, 45 minutes to get In-N-Out Burger as fast food, quote unquote, while there's no line at the fast food place across the street that has everything, under the sun on their menu. So that's the same concept here. And it's something, again, it's a metaphor just to get you to think. So most firms today are trying to be the Japanese, French, Brazilian fusion experience, that complete generalist, right? They brag about their full service of offerings and have a 20-item drop-down menu under industry serves. We try to coach our clients, against this, but there's some that they see what others are doing and they just emulate it. I want to do what everyone else does. So what we're trying to do, especially with our launch of our 3.0 platform, we're trying to get you out of your comfort zone. We know what's going to work for you. Experiment a little bit, take a few risks. I think you'll be well rewarded. So their thought is, with this positioning, I'll get prospects interested in Japanese, French, and Brazilian food. but it doesn't quite work that way, does it? And that's what we mean by the generalist. So the fact is, the customers who are looking to pay the most are looking for the best. Important to think about that. Not necessarily the best chefs, but the chefs who are the best at cooking the kind of food they want. Okay, so your potential clients don't want a firm that understands lots of problems. They want a firm that understands their problems, right? On a deeper level. They've worked with a dentist. They understand the issues that are unique to a dental firm, right? And they've solved this before. They want a firm that knows their market inside and out. They can speak the language, anticipate problems before they arise, and leverage expertise from prior engagements to add even more value. I think this is an important thing that a lot of people forget, is that leverage expertise from prior engagements. And you can even use that in your marketing studies, your case studies. When people are looking at your firm, they're going to see a bunch of case studies from firm or people that look a lot like them, and they're going to hear terms that are being shared. I think that's going to be a big deal. It's going to help you convert more. So this is where you need to ask yourself, what type of clients do I want to work with? Small local clients with low budgets and high demands, or bigger clients who are looking for deeper, more specific expertise? And really sit down and think about this one. We obviously know where we're pushing, but this is really the crust of the whole thing. So today, a firm's success is rooted in its positioning, not necessarily its versatility. I think that's a really important takeaway. So look at it this way. If 90% or more of your clients are located within a 50-mile radius of your firm, you're likely positioned as a full-service firm serving a wide variety of clients. So we've talked about the pitfalls of this already. Clients aren't picking you because you're an industry leader or because you have deep expertise. They're picking you because you're convenient and likely relatively inexpensive. And that's kind of the commoditization that we're talking about. So convenient and cheap aren't words that clients use when talking about premium services. So our goal here at CountingWorks is to fix your positioning by bringing the number of competing firms. So once you nail down the perfect position using the 4 levels of positioning for your firm, you begin marketing like crazy. You're going to have fewer competitors. Think about it. A generalist in accounting, CPA, you Google that, there'd be millions of competing sites there. So how are you going to get on page 1? I would guarantee you, if you're trying to get on page 1 for a more narrowed focus search term, these are the premium clients that are looking just for you, the competition is it's much easier for us to get your brand to rank in the page 1. So this is really important. So it's not just, some of the generalist things we're talking about. It's the ability to outcompete your competitors. So 4 levels of positioning. Real positioning takes courage and ultimately clarity. So this is kind of the risks, the fear issues. So before you start on the journey of properly positioning your firm, it's important to understand where your firm is today. While we review this, be thinking, identifying which of these levels best defines your firm. So we start no positioning, weak positioning, multi-niching, or strong positioning. So think about those are the 4 levels. So number 1, no positioning. Okay, so you're a great firm. And most of the clients we work with are great at what they do. So I'm not trying to put anyone down here. We're just trying to get you to think differently, right? So you're a great firm, you do great work, but there's no way to differentiate you from your competitors. And that's going to be the most difficult, frustrating thing you've ever done. Even if we get to build the most beautiful site for you and you're telling us exactly you want to be a generalist and you're doing all these industries and you're saying, full service and all that, the chances for you to be really successful are difficult. We'll get you to rank well locally because we can, and we're good at that. But the reality is you're not going to be as successful if you follow some of the things. So clear signs that you're at this level include, you use marketing phrases like full service, breadth of experience, and wide variety of industries. Your team feels that choosing a niche is dangerous to business. And this is where this is a risk issue. You only take on local clients within a 200-mile radius. Your website and blog do not speak to a specific clientele. Level 2, weak positioning. Most firms want to transition from primarily doing personal tax returns to offering more in-depth business services like tax planning, consulting, bookkeeping, virtual CFO services. So the first step, for some reason, is to go after small businesses or some other similar niche, right? So specializing in small businesses is not a position, right? It is not a position. It's a safe move for firms who know they need to niche down, but are too scared to actually do this. So if your firm focuses on small businesses and local clientele, and you'd happily offer any accounting services to a client in any industry, you do not have bad positioning, but your firm may have weak positioning, right? So you get kind of getting the differences here. So now we're going to say multi-positioning. This is where a lot of mid-sized firms fall. They understand the importance of positioning, but instead of choosing a niche, they choose many, many niches. These are the firms that list 8 to 12 plus industries on their website, which may seem like positioning, except that every other mid-sized firm lists the exact same. I mean, some of them literally copy. They'll go, oh, well, copy this site. And it's just like, well, you're not positioning yourself at all. You're just emulating what everyone else is doing. So how are you going to stand out? So the firms might even have individuals who specialize in each of these areas, which is true. And this is kind of the multi-positioning, and you can become an expert in those fields, and you might show and actually rank well on Google for those particular people. But it's not clear from their marketing whether they're truly capable of serving all of these areas well. This might be your firm if you have industries listed on your website, but the list consists of more than 3. Your website's main headline does not mention a niche because there are too many to summarize in any cohesive way. This is like a copywriter's worst nightmare. And we see it all the time when we're building websites where people want to copy, what others have done. And we try to push them out of their comfort zone a little bit by going a little narrower. Basically you end up with a watered down headline and position. So your services are not packaged or presented in ways that appeal to specific market niches or verticals. We've done many webinars on packaging, and this is more of the monthly type of programs. And there's lots of experiments you can do. You can have monthly programs for specific niches, startup businesses, in the film industry, whatever. You can go on and on. But it's definitely, if you're not doing that, you're still not where we want you to be, which is level 4, the strong position. This is a tour de force of positioning. It's a place that very few firms get to because they lack the courage to make hard decisions. This is the fear. This is what's holding you back. So firms in this category have a clearly defined position that is clearly posted at the top of their homepage. Their services are customized specifically to this niche and market segment. This firm specializes in dentistry, for example, right? So it's simple, obvious, and direct. And this is where we want to get as many of our clients as possible to level 4. So if a potential client in the dental industry is looking for an accountant, this website would scream my name. They would think, hey, these people know my industry. They speak my language. They work with lots of others just like me with all these glowing 5-star reviews, right? They'll know exactly what questions to ask and what advice to give based on what they've seen in other projects. They'll have fresh ideas I haven't even thought of. These people understand, and I'm willing to pay more for the specific expertise and time savings I would expect to gain from hiring them. So now you start seeing how the generalists would have a hard time competing against the strong position. We see it in the expat tax area a lot. There's firms that have tens of thousands of clients, specifically in expat taxes, and they're providing premium or getting premium pricing. And that's the beauty of a strong positioning statement. So this might be your firm if you have a website that clearly speaks to a specific client type and vertical and excludes others. Scary, I know. Regularly generate inbound leads from clients within your niche. And that's kind of the machine side of this. So instead of just one-to-one referrals, you have a funnel of leads that are coming in. You can turn down business that doesn't fit your positioning. You easily sell big ticket services. So big, prices or monthly fees. You don't have too many low budget, high maintenance clients, and you work with clients virtually across the nation or even the globe. Does this sound good? Does this sound like a practice you would like to have? I think the answer is yes. So why positioning matters? Why bother changing the way your thing's doing? So if you're at the 3rd level, why bother moving to the 4th? If you're at the 2nd level, the business is booming and everyone's happy, why rock the boat? And the answer is simple. Think ahead. Things are changing. There's new competitors out there. There's Pilot. You got Intuit coming after your business. There's a lot of different competitors that are opening up to come after your clients. And more importantly, your clients' demands, what they expect, are changing. So the question is it sustainable? And are you building the company you really want? When you own your niche, you'll be able to guide prospects towards the tools they should be using rather than being replaced by them, okay? You'll welcome these shortcuts rather than feeling threatened by them. So that's important. So, are you ready to get started? So positioning your firm. The first step in positioning your firm is deciding what you want to do. So ask yourself, which service makes us the most money? And this is looking at your current client base, right? You might be identify your niches right here or the service. Again, a niche can be a vertical, but it also can be a service. So I don't want to confuse you too much. What is our mix of services currently lacking? What are the easiest wins for us? Who do you convert the most? Why do prospects seek us out? Is there a new offering that we excel at that doesn't exist yet? I think these are important things. So I just have an example here of kind of like what we call a weak landing page. There's vague text. It's unclear what they do. It's generic. There's no call to action. We're just throwing something out just to show you. We're going to show you another one that is much more focused here in a second. So who? Now let's talk about your ideal client type. Ask yourself, what type of clients have you been most successful with in the past? What stakeholders do you know best? What type of companies typically seek out your help? What industries or market laterals do you excel at? What client types make you the most money? What clients are the easiest wins for your firm? Real simple questions, an easy exercise to go through. You can look at your current client base and kind of figure it out from here. And this is where I promised you kind of an example of a small business landing page. I'll teach you how to make your business succeed, something that's getting a little more focused, more with conversion, things like that. So just a real quick sample. I can't wait. In 2022, you'll see all the landing pages that we've done. But it's really exciting once you put it all together, how well you can do. So now you're ready to write your firm's positioning statement. So focus on identifying services are the most underserved, profitable, then pair them with a client type or industry that needs those services. So your final positioning statement might sound something like this. Bookkeeping for marketing agencies, right? So now I have a service for a specific target audience. I have narrowed myself dramatically. Think of all the advantages I have against a generalist CPA trying to get the same business. And think more importantly, once you're in there, how many other market agencies will go, oh, these guys are the bookkeepers for marketing agencies, right? So financial reporting for craft breweries, automated accounting for e-commerce stores. So I think you're starting to get what a positioning statement really is all about. So now add your unique angle to craft your full positioning statement. I'll start here. Our firm provides specific service or outcome for type of market or audience because by the underlying motivation differentiator. Okay. Work with this framework, you'll be able to start positioning yourself very well. So your goal is to redefine your fundamental business strategy in a way that's specific enough to make you uncomfortable. Yes, I said it. And this goes back to the fear issue, the unknown. It's a gamble. Things are going okay, but the reality is these are the kind of risks that make real businesses. And I can give you example after example of people that have done it well. So the opportunity analyzers, now that you have your positioning statement, let's see how well it holds up. So ask yourself, how many firms are currently targeting this positioning? So if you're just copying, I'll give you crypto, for example. Crypto might be something that a lot of people are, quote unquote, specializing in. There might be still many opportunities there, but the reality is look at this and say, is this already a crowded area? You might want to hold back. Are prospects searching around these problems or services? So you can figure this out by going to Google's keyword planner and start typing in some of the keywords that you would think they would use for looking for this type of service, and just see what the search results look like. And if there's not a bunch of competitors are already there, then it would be much easier for you to claim, high positioning, page one positioning in Google. And the third question is, do we have existing clients within this niche that we can showcase? And this is where we could do case studies. We can get great reviews from them. We can interview them. They could do the selling for us, right? So nothing is easier than building a strong reputation online than reviews. And no one does the selling better than your current clients. So those are things that we work with our clients very well in getting as many reviews as possible. But if you can now segment that this vertical, your niche, are all the reviews, and it's consistent, I think you're going to be much more successful. Once you define your positioning, you'll need to focus on what you'll need to change to bring it to life. So step back and say, hey, we probably need to make some website changes. You might want to look at some of our landing pages that we're rolling out and start looking at, hey, how can I use this as a starting point to really position myself and make it more unique. So stay tuned for series 2, which will be building a conversion focused website. This will be coming out next month and kind of following what we're doing with our 3.0 launch. So really excited about all the work. This has been a long process, literally over $1 million in technology and hours and hours and hours of planning and design work, copywriting, and everything. So we're really excited at what it looks for. This ends the first session. I hope you got a lot of value for it. I hope you're all thinking and your heads are going, oh, 2022, there's a lot of different things I can do. So as usual, if you have any questions about taking friction out of your buying process, so to speak, reach out to us at help@countingworkspro.com. Again, thank you for joining us for this workshop, and we look forward to hearing from you and obviously seeing you through the rest of this series. Again, I hope you appreciate this, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.